For weeks, the whispers had been growing louder. Every fan page, every tabloid, every entertainment blog across Turkey, Italy, and half of Europe seemed to be asking the same question: what will Demet Özdemir do for Can Yaman's birthday this year? After everything that had happened, the distance, the silence, the endless rumors, few believed there was even a chance that she would acknowledge the day at all. But those who knew Demet well knew one thing: she was unpredictable. And behind her calm smile, there was always something brewing, something heartfelt, something daring. As the date drew closer, fans began counting down. Screenshots of old photos resurfaced, moments from the Erkenci Kas days, interviews filled with laughter, red carpet glances that spoke louder than words. Every image carried the same nostalgic question: do they still think about each other? And then, suddenly, the clues began to appear. A small post on Demet's Instagram story, a picture of a sunrise over the Bosphorus, captioned simply, "Some days are meant for memories." Within minutes, her fans connected the dots. The date on the story matched the day Can had first arrived in Rome years earlier to start his Italian career, the day Demet had wished him good luck publicly for the last time. Coincidence? Maybe. But for her fans, it was enough to spark a storm. Theories spread like wildfire. Some claimed she was secretly planning to fly to Rome. Others believed she had written him a private letter. And a few even swore that her team had booked a table at one of Can's favorite restaurants, the same place they had been spotted together back in 2019. The internet was on fire. Hashtags trended overnight: hashtag Can Demet reunion, hashtag Demet's secret plan, hashtag world watching. But while everyone speculated, Demet remained silent. What no one knew, however, was that she had been planning something for weeks, something deeply personal, far away from the cameras. The idea had come to her one night after watching an old interview of Can, one where he had talked about birthdays and fame. "When you're always in the spotlight," he'd said, "you stop feeling celebrated. It becomes a performance, not a feeling." Those words stayed with her. Because if anyone understood what it meant to live under constant scrutiny, it was Demet. She had seen the same cameras, felt the same weight of expectation. And though time had passed, she still remembered the quiet, unguarded version of Can, the man who loved simple things like late-night walks, strong coffee, and the sound of rain. So, she began to plan something different. No parties. No spotlights. No journalists. Just something real. She contacted someone from Can's old circle in Rome, a photographer who had once worked with them both. The message was brief: "I want to give him something that reminds him of who he was before the noise began." And from that moment, a quiet operation began. She collected unseen footage from their early days, candid moments from behind the scenes, clips where they were laughing between takes, joking with the crew, exchanging glances that even the cameras couldn't fake. Her plan wasn't to deliver it publicly. She didn't want headlines. She wanted to give him a reminder of their beginnings, of their journey, of the version of themselves untouched by fame's chaos. As his birthday approached, Demet's actions became more deliberate. She was seen leaving a production office late at night, carrying a small envelope. Paparazzi photos of her that week showed her thoughtful, distant, even emotional. And then, 2 nights before Can's birthday, something strange happened. A private courier was spotted at Can's Rome apartment. The delivery was small, an unmarked package with no sender name, only a card that read, "For the memories that time couldn't erase." When Can received the package, he didn't know what to make of it. It wasn't unusual for fans or brands to send gifts, but something about this one felt different. There was no logo, no PR note, nothing. He opened it slowly. Inside was a simple USB drive, wrapped in brown paper, tied with a white ribbon. No instructions, no words. He hesitated. But curiosity, and maybe a trace of instinct, made him plug it in. And as the first image appeared on screen, his heart stopped. It was her. A video compilation, raw, unedited moments from years ago. Behind-the-scenes laughter, shared looks, jokes between scenes, her voice saying his name. Music played softly in the background, the same song they used to listen to on set when filming late at night. Can sat frozen, staring at the screen. His breath caught as one particular clip appeared, a take they never used. In it, Demet was caught off guard, laughing uncontrollably, while Can looked at her with that unmistakable softness he could never hide. And then, near the end, came something that wasn't from any show. It was a short message, filmed recently. Demet, sitting on a couch, no makeup, no lights, just her. She looked straight into the camera and said softly, "Happy birthday, Can. You once told me that fame can make people forget who they are. I hope you never forget the person you were when we first met, kind, curious, and real. That's the version the world fell in love with, and the one I'll always remember." The video ended. Silence filled the room. Can didn't move for a long time. Outside, Rome buzzed with lights and music, birthday celebrations already planned by fans and sponsors, but inside, he sat alone, watching the empty screen, realizing that sometimes, the loudest gestures are made in silence. News of the mysterious package didn't stay private for long. Someone from the building had seen the delivery, and soon, the media started speculating again. "Who sent the secret gift to Can Yaman?" headlines screamed. But Can didn't care. For once, he ignored the noise. That night, he went out alone, no security, no cameras, and drove to a quiet place just outside Rome where the sea meets the cliffs. It was the same spot he used to visit during his early years in Italy. He sat there for hours, replaying the video in his mind. Each memory felt like a wave crashing gently against the shore, distant but familiar. Somewhere, deep down, he realized what Demet had done. It wasn't just a birthday gift. It was closure. A quiet bridge between what was and what would never be again. But as he looked at the stars reflected on the sea, one thought stayed with him: she remembered. Meanwhile, in Istanbul, Demet stayed off social media entirely. Her fans noticed her silence and began speculating even more. Did she fly to Rome? Did she meet him? Are they talking again? She didn't respond. But in a private message to a close friend, she wrote, "Sometimes love means wishing someone happiness from far away." That night, she opened her own phone and rewatched a clip from the same USB video, the one she had made for him but kept a copy of. When her own face appeared on screen saying, "Happy birthday, Can," she smiled sadly. "Maybe this is the last time I'll ever say it," she whispered to herself. Can's birthday came and went, a flood of fan videos, news coverage, tributes from around the world. But amid all the noise, one detail stood out: Can didn't post a single photo of his celebration. No cakes, no events, no parties. Instead, he posted just one image, the sunrise over the sea, with the caption, "Some days are meant for memories." It was the exact same line Demet had posted days earlier. Fans went wild. Every outlet picked it up. Are they reconnecting? Was that message for her? Did Demet go to Rome after all? Neither of them confirmed anything. But sometimes, silence tells its own story. Weeks later, an Italian journalist asked Can about the mysterious birthday gift during an interview. He smiled faintly and said only this: "It was a reminder of who I was, and of someone who once saw me better than anyone else." The interviewer pressed, "Was it from Demet Özdemir?" Can paused for a moment, his eyes softening, and then replied, "Some questions don't need answers. Some memories speak for themselves." And that was it. That night, fans all over the world watched that clip in silence. It wasn't confirmation, but it was enough. Enough to believe that somewhere between distance, fame, and silence, something still existed, fragile, unspoken, but real. Because sometimes love isn't about being seen together. It's about remembering quietly. It's about one person knowing exactly what the other needs, even when the world isn't watching. And that's why, when the world woke up the next morning, one phrase was trending everywhere: "World-shocked face screaming in fear, fire Demet Özdemir's secret plan for Can Yaman's birthday revealed." But for Can and Demet, it was never about the shock. It was about the heart. And the memory that time could never erase. Days after the interview, the story still refused to fade. It was everywhere, on TV, in magazines, on TikTok, on every fan account that had ever posted a photo of them together. Clips from the interview were slowed down, zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame, as if the world could find a hidden confession somewhere in his eyes. But there was none. Only quiet truth, the kind that doesn't need to be spoken. Still, the silence between Can and Demet had become the loudest conversation on the internet. Fans began creating theories about what might happen next. Will they see each other again? Will they work together? Was that gift a new beginning or a final goodbye? But behind the scenes, something more human was happening. A week after his birthday, Can received a small letter through his management office in Istanbul. There was no name on it, just a handwritten note inside that read, "The sea remembers every word we never said." It wasn't signed. But he didn't need a signature. The handwriting alone was enough. He smiled quietly, folded the paper, and tucked it into his journal, the one he had started keeping after the attack months before. Next to that letter were pages filled with thoughts about fame, loneliness, and the search for meaning. But that single note, short, poetic, unmistakably hers, became the calmest page in the book. Can didn't respond. He didn't need to. He knew she wasn't asking for a reply. She just wanted him to know that somewhere, she still thought of him. In Istanbul, Demet had begun working again. Between takes, she stayed focused, professional, smiling when the cameras rolled, but her co-stars noticed the quiet moments when she drifted away, when her gaze fell somewhere far beyond the set lights. One of her close friends asked gently, "You sent it, didn't you?" Demet smiled faintly. "I had to. Some things shouldn't stay unsaid forever." That night, as she drove home, the city lights of Istanbul blurred against the car windows like memories she could never quite catch. She turned on the radio, and by coincidence, or fate, a song they once shared came on. It was soft, slow, full of longing. For a moment, she closed her eyes at a red light and let the melody pull her backward, to a time when everything was simpler, when love didn't need to hide behind fame. Meanwhile in Rome, Ken was sitting at the same cafe he used to visit when he first moved there. The owner, who had known him for years, brought his coffee and said with a smile, "You look lighter these days, signore. Maybe peace is finding you again?" Ken laughed softly. Maybe it finally knows where to look. He didn't tell the man about the letter or the video. Some things lose their magic when shared. But as he looked at the sun dipping into the horizon, he whispered quietly to himself, "Thank you, Demet." He didn't know if she would ever hear it, but somehow, deep down, it didn't matter. Because sometimes peace doesn't come from closure. It comes from gratitude. That night, he opened his phone and saw thousands of birthday messages still flooding his inbox. But one stood out, a fan's message that read, "You and Demet taught us that real connection never fades, even when people do." He smiled. It was strange how strangers could see what he himself had just realized. In the weeks that followed, Ken threw himself back into work. But this time, something had changed. His performances felt more grounded, more real. The press noticed it too. One Italian magazine wrote, "He's not just acting anymore, he's feeling." When Demet saw that article weeks later, she smiled again, this time, without sadness. She closed her laptop, looked out the window at the Istanbul skyline, and said softly, "That's the Can I wanted the world to remember." And somewhere, far away across the Mediterranean, he did exactly that.